Cockpit review time. It's episode 3. No, it's season 3, episode 6. And I have 3 more cockpits we gotta go and take a look at today. Let's get going. Okay, we're gonna dive right into it. First cockpit here comes to us from Worf. Nice reference there. And what it says here is that this might look like a desk, which it is. It's a standing desk. And the keen eye of you may have noticed these like drawers where the drawers are missing, pockets underneath. And those are going to be important in a second, because he's done something very clever. Setup in itself is pretty straightforward. We have a dual monitor setup. Clearly this is also a workspace. And first of all, I love the light room. We often see these cockpits being super dark. I love to see some light coming in, especially as it's clear that he uses this as a work desk. Ooh, also that camera, Insta360 Link, awesome camera. It's the same one that you guys are looking through. On a gimbal, and you can control it, so I can go here into my controls and I can like move the camera around as I see fit, or I could have like pre-programmed positions. It's a nice little camera. I really like it. Cool camera. Nice. Okay, sidetracked. Let's move on and actually look at the cockpits. Hold on, what is that? Is that a screen bar? That looks like a screen bar, like one of those light bars. Oh, also notice there's a Tobii Eye. Like at first you look at it, like first glance you think, okay, business setup. But then you peek at the details and you begin to see there's a Tobii Eye tracker down there. There is a really good webcam up here. There is things happening here. You can see the pedals. Slowly the things begin to reveal itself. But I really like the setup there. We get a quick look from the back. We have the PC here with a very neat, what is that? Oh, that's a Mac. It's a MacBook. It looks like a MacBook. So maybe that's his work thing. And then that's his gaming thing. And one of them is for work, and I would guess that's the case. No idea what that is. Anyone? Comment section. It has a lot of cables in it. Is it like a speaker system? I don't know what that is. Lego! So as you can see here, these plates, you can see there's a little lip there and there on either side. So these top like covers, they just lift out of place. And now you have these wells in the desk. And in these desks, you have your joystick that goes in with magnets. So there are 4 magnets to lock the joystick in place. And then you can see the cable lying there. So you just connect that in. It snaps in place and you are ready to fly. There you have it. And these are, of course, the Gladiators. One on the Omni throttle extension there, and just one here on the... It's funny he has the Omni throttle on the right. I always prefer to have my Omni throttle on the left, but I guess, yeah. To each their own. But that's a cool setup. Again, very unique, not something that we've seen before. And we get the night shot here. We can see he's running Star Citizen. Nice little control panel there. That's a very cool setup. I'm wondering if he actually uses the mouse there center. So if you are running, I mean, I guess that would work. It's not the most comfortable position, I think, if you're doing FPS stuff. But if you're just running around the station selling stuff, you're mostly flying, then I guess it's fine. I love that idea of having the wells for the joysticks, because it's often a problem when you have joysticks you just put on the desk, unless you get some of the really lower profile ones like the X56, the X52, where the base is really low profile. When you put them on a desk, you very easily end up with joysticks sitting like up here, and it adds a ton of strain on your shoulders. I'm of course exaggerating it now, right? So that's also why when you see people at desk mounting, that you also always lower them down so that the height of the joystick is just slightly higher than the desk surface itself, the same as he has here, making it a much more ergonomic setup. Really, really cool, really nice, really nicely done. Awesome. Really glad that you sent that in. Okay, this one here comes to us from Matt Highway. Funny thing about that name in a second. So far, it's a setup. We can see there's a screen. We can't see too much. It's in the dark. There's a computer, and there's some kind of hotas. We can see the PlayStation logo, indicating that he may not be using the computer itself, but maybe he's using a PlayStation to play on, which we'll see in a second. But there's more to it. Now you can begin to see what's going on here. This is a van setup. He's built this into a van. He said that it's probably the first or the only one I've seen. We actually had one in the previous episode of a guy that built a cockpit into his Tesla and was playing out of that. So we have seen car cockpits before, it's not the first time. But he says he has this van, it's no longer roadworthy, it's just sitting in his driveway, and he's now converted it into like a office / man cave. So he has his PlayStation out there, and he also uses it as an office if he needs to get out of the house to get some quiet to work. Let's see if there's some shots. Here we got some more light shots. We can see this like entire console unit built with a TV mount. We have all the games under here. We have the PlayStation itself, and then this like looks like some kind of cabinet that's been built on top of, where he then uses that as desk surface for the joystick and for computer, for, you know, third-party tools and stuff like that. Pull-out steps. Get some more views of that little extension that put the... Oh, okay, so that's the top. Oh, that's clever. So that's the actual desk size. You can see that in this shot here. That's the thing here. And then this one just stands on top. I'm amazed that's stable enough. I mean, moving around joysticks and everything, it was just mouse and keyboard, I could see it, but this is his little home DIY like auto throttle thing for Elite. So essentially in this you have the full range of motion with the joystick, but what he said is you can flip it up like that, and now it stops the joystick a little earlier at 75%. So we made this thing so that you could just flip that up, and now the throttle will auto stop at 75%, preventing you from overspeeding if you're approaching a planet or station in Elite, and you don't have to do the loop of shame. So that's really a very mechanical solution to that problem. This is again one of those where you're like, okay, we have a van in the driveway, we might as well use it for something and make it into a man cave if there's not enough room in the house. You're gonna find a way to build your home cockpit. Whether it's in closets, as we've seen, people come up with the craziest idea, and nice to see another car cockpit here on Cockpit Reviews. So thanks a lot to Matt Highway for sending that in. Okay, final cockpit for today comes to us from Commander Be Cool, I think that's how it's pronounced. I hope it is. And he says that he actually been inspired by these videos, by these cockpit review videos, to go and build his own home cockpit, where he's been utilizing a lot of 3D printing. As we'll see here in a minute, he's done some really awesome stuff. And I'm so happy to see that this video has inspired some of you guys out there to go out and build your own home cockpits. Because this is what it's all about, like having fun, flying spaceships. So let's see what he's come up with. We have a Elite Dangerous logo, 3D printed and painted, it seems, but let's see what he's using that for. We have a shot of the 3D printer, printing some parts that maybe we can recognize later, I don't know. Okay, now this thing begins to come together. So he has some kind of center panel where he has recessed the Elite Dangerous logo into it, so it becomes like a central part of the entire thing. X56 here on the side, as we can see, there and there. Very small keyboard. Where's mouse? Oh, we're probably gonna see that in a second. Okay, so those were some of the parts we saw printing earlier. Looks like some kind of hinge. We have some kind of bracket, again, with a cutout of the Elite Dangerous logo built into the brackets, which is also very, very nice. And we can begin to get a feeling for what this thing does. We can see that bracket there and the we saw before. So it adds like an extension where the mouse sits to this whole thing. More shots of the Elite Dangerous logo as it was being printed. Oh yeah, here we have the entire setup. So it is a table that you slide in place. We could see that before here, that it kind of moves in front of the main desk. Like co-pilot, nice, hello. Extra little breakout keyboard there, probably for extra, you know, shortcuts and stuff like that, as you already have a keyboard there. I was wondering if this is part of an old laptop, but it's not, because that was 3D printed too. Other than the fact that it looks super cool, I'm not sure if it serves a purpose other than being decorative. So now we get a good look at this setup down here. So you can see he has those brackets. They kind of function as leverage arms. And then we have those two that we saw being printed before. And they can of course pivot here, so you can push those upwards in that direction. And then the whole section there, we can also just see the hinges up here. Just there we can see the hinges, and you can see how it's locked with that one. Push that up and this entire thing will fold down, probably so that it's more compact when you put it into storage, so it doesn't take up so much space. Oh, even better shot of it here, that's perfect. You can really see, and push that bar up, the whole thing just flips away. I was thinking, did he bolt the joysticks to the table so they are actually sitting there? Or what are those doing there? Hold on, let's go back. Yes, he did. You can see that one bolt going through there and one bolt going through there. Maybe that looks like they're... Okay, so they're just in two corners, then in opposing corners, it seems. Oh, I also just noticed that he has a powered USB rail down here. That's clearly USB cables. So all these different things... that makes sense. It's a movable desk, right? So you need that powered USB hub down here. And we can see that it looks like that he's also doing racing stuff, where he has a racing wheel here. And my assumption about him having this as a permanent mouse that's always on this setup was correct, as he has two of them here. So, and I'll bet you, and we can just down here in the corner, we can see that cable coming in from the USB hub. So he just used the top I/O on the computer, slides the whole thing in, one cable, boom, everything powers up, you're ready to fly. Super fast, super convenient, really, really nice setup as well. Okay, those were the cockpits I had for you today. Really hope you enjoyed them. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys in space.